Back then, Malaysia's debt was 539.90 ringgit billion, but now it's a massive 1.5 trillion ringgit. This number, accounting for approximately 80% of the nation's GDP, is truly astonishing. But why is this debt a big problem, and what can we do about it? Similar to how businesses borrow money, governments also take loans from different sources, like world banks or other countries. Sometimes, governments create money themselves, sort of like borrowing from their own banks. 15 years back, Malaysia's debt was under 40% of GDP, and truth be told, that's the last time it was that low. Over time, Malaysia's government has become increasingly reliant on borrowing money. The pandemic played a part in pushing the national debt to almost double, from 686 billion ringgit in 2017 to 1.1 trillion ringgit in just 6 years. But there's also something called government liabilities on non-loan financing owed to creditors. Adding that to the mix, the debt climbs up to 1.5 trillion ringgit, which is equivalent to building 111,111 Penang bridges or distributing 45,000 ringgit to each of Malaysia's 33 million citizens. However, what's truly concerning isn't just the debt size, it's how Malaysia is paying it off. Malaysia has been taking new loans to settle old debts. In 2021, the government used 114 billion ringgit out of 217 billion ringgit in new loans just to pay off previous debts, not counting interest. That's more than half of all the money borrowed last year. In December 2020, Fitch, a rating agency, downgraded Malaysia's rating from A- to BBB+. How does this affect us? Firstly, with a lower rating, Malaysia might need to offer higher returns on bonds to attract new investors. This means more tax money will go towards repaying debts. Secondly, the lower rating makes Malaysia less appealing for foreign direct investment, FDI. Over the years, Malaysia's FDI has been declining. Malaysia got $13.47 billion from foreign companies in 2016, but by 2019, it was only $7.65 billion. That's more than a 40% decrease in just 3 years. In comparison, Indonesia's foreign investment grew from $4.54 billion to $24.95 billion during the same time, a 500% increase. Malaysia has had trouble getting businesses from other countries to invest in it. Other Asian countries like China, Singapore, Japan, and South Korea got more investment than Malaysia did. But in 2022, Malaysia started getting a lot more foreign investment. Malaysia made it easier for businesses from other countries to come and do business here. Why is FDI important? FDI refers to the establishment of businesses in Malaysia by foreign companies, much like the presence of Intel, Honda, and Samsung in the past. It serves as a critical element in fostering economic growth, creating employment opportunities, and nurturing the expansion of local businesses that rely on local supply chains. Notably, employees in these multinational corporations contribute significantly to tax revenues due to their substantial incomes. Moreover, FDI facilitates the transfer of valuable skills and knowledge to the local workforce, leading to the development of highly skilled labor. This, in turn, enhances our competitiveness, attracts more FDI, and stimulates the emergence of local entrepreneurial ventures. However, a reduction in FDI can lead to a ripple effect of unemployment and adversely impact local suppliers, posing a potential risk to businesses and jobs. Consequently, we're left with insufficient funds for essential areas such as infrastructure, healthcare, and education, which are critical for securing a better future. This, in turn, erodes confidence in Malaysia's ability to repay its debts. If you believe this issue doesn't concern you and life will continue as normal, you're mistaken. Its impact is more significant than you realize. As the old Malay proverb suggests, it's like digging one hole to fill another. Moreover, relying on alternative sources, especially tax revenue, to pay off the debt isn't a straightforward process. Malaysia is known for its limited tax-paying population. According to reports, Malaysia has just over 1.3 million individual taxpayers, a figure that accounts for only 4% of the total population of over 33.5 million. This noticeable gap in numbers might be attributed to our progressive tax system, where individuals with higher incomes contribute more significantly to the overall tax revenue. Petronas typically helps make up for revenue shortfalls through taxes and profits from the petroleum industry. However, because oil prices are unpredictable, Petronas can't serve as a reliable source of income indefinitely. Additionally, the global economic situation isn't favoring Malaysia. Reduced demand for Malaysian exports means less income, and interest rates will bump up the total owed to creditors. The good news is that policymakers have some ideas to address the debt, and you might have heard about them in the recent budget. The bad news is that these ideas fall short. Effectively tackling the debt requires a fundamental shift in both government spending and revenue generation. If Malaysia's income stagnates and it can't control its debt, the consequences could be dire. If we allocate more money to repay creditors, we'll have less to invest in growing the economy. Consequently, there will be less funding available to improve the lives of people and secure our future. The government must strike a delicate balance between repaying debts and investing in crucial areas such as infrastructure, healthcare, and education, which are essential for the long-term prosperity of the country. If managed effectively, the future could be bright. If mismanaged, people will face significant challenges. And if these challenges emerge, it's the people who will bear the burden of the debt. Who are these people, you might wonder?